Kyle here from allmuterviews.blogspot.com. I'm here to do a tag response, per se, video, contest video for the channel AGK Vinyl Life, which reminds me, yeah, alright, I'm just going to have to do that. Yeah, reminds me, yeah. AGK's Vinyl Life channel's 1,000 subscriber contest, per se. I don't know if he's there yet. He was not quite there a few days ago when I saw the contest entry. Anyway, I'm going to get into it. So I got to do... I'll just go through it then. So the first item is an album with... It starts with the letter A. From the artist, your favorite album that starts with the letter A. And I'm not 100% certain, but I pretty much would, off the top of my head, lean toward what I've talked about many times on this channel, the band Apes and Androids. Their one full-length album, their one release, standard proper release, Blood Moon. In short, it's my third favorite album all time, and this is the renowned copy that I first bought, although I first heard it digitally, but that I wore out. I've got a couple more shrink-wrap copies over there, but for someone who's never heard them, I don't know. One way to put it is, the one description was, think Queen, think Bohemian Rhapsody for the 21st century. I mean, the guys are singers a little bit like the arrangements on Queen, but then you hear elements of David Bowie and Prince and Pink Floyd and Sparks, Danny Elfman, Metallica, Guns N' Roses, but with the songwriting chops. Another way to put it, they're a little bit like Of Montreal, but much better songwriters and singers especially. But I love this record to death. It's a perfect concept album called Blood Moon. Sci-fi, channeling the 80s, almost like Night of the Comet in some ways. Anyway, but it's obscure, of course. You can listen to it, I believe, on YouTube. I don't know about Bandcamp, but anyway, Apes and Androids, Blood Moon for the A selection. Alright, so for the G selection, it's kind of boring, and although I'll admit that I hadn't actually opened this up, but it's sort of my default choice, although I love all the Gabriel Genesis, but it's Genesis is a Foxtrot record, Genesis. My favorite artist that starts with G. I mean, actually I did this wrong, but I'm sort of going to have to do it that way anyways. I was supposed to choose a K, but I'll just go with G. It's too late now. This is, yeah, just, I don't know what, second or third pressing of Foxtrot, so, yeah, I mean, I could have done, I'll get to it in a minute, but, yeah, they're not, Genesis is not my favorite artist with a G in the name, but they are for this contest they are based on the other choices. So anyway, and Foxtrot again is my default favorite Genesis album, but I go back and forth between nice, you get JJ Walker there on this sleeve. I go back and forth between, so this has to be like one of the earlier pressings, if it's not a first pressing. I go back and forth between selling them by the pound and, you know, I can conclude, you know, while I still think it might be better than the Lamb slightly, everyone continues to praise Nursery Crime to no end, and I can't get this in here. So, well, I'm just going to have to let it go. Alright, so the third one is K. So I should have chose this for G, and I was debating, but I was like, no, and I was just wrapping this up today, trying to figure out a way to get it in. It's not going to be G, and not going to be K, but his first name is Kevin, so, and a lot of people refer to him as KG, so he still qualifies under that window. But this is his masterpiece. If Blood Moon from Apes and Androids is my third favorite album of all time, this, which is not a vinyl copy, even though it was basically a case made and designed for vinyl, this is a deluxe version of Kevin Gilbert, just call him Kevin, but Kevin Gilbert album, The Shame and the Truth, that was released posthumously, concept album, rock opera about a musician in the music industry making it big, and then things go kind of to hell. It's a huge package version of it. I've done multiple videos, of course, on this. I have like 7 or 8 different versions of this CD, this album. The vinyl might not be coming out this year because we haven't heard anything about it, but the plans are finally, after you know, what is it, 20, it'll be 21 years. It was released in 2000. After 21 years or 22 years, the vinyl is supposed to finally come out. It's just they want to release it the right way. And they're going to release the vinyl as a big package box set too when they do, but it's just filled with tons of extra stuff. So, but you know, what do you expect for your second favorite album? I could have just showed you a standard copy of the CD, but I figured I'd go the whole 9 yards and go deep. This is a masterwork again. Concept album. Every library on the planet, in my mind, should have a copy of it. So anyway, progressive rock. I mean, if you never heard Kevin Gilbert's music before, it is progressive rock, but it's singer-songwriter and Elton John-like at points, and you know. Anyway, that's not selling him short. He's my favorite musician ever. So now I have to choose an album with the word life in it, and well, I could have chose a lot of different items, including a track off of Kevin Gilbert's The Shaming of the True, because there's a song called Long Day's Life. And if I had to choose one, I actually would probably, as a favorite, that would be the one that, at this point in my research, would be my favorite. But just to kind of not to, you know, pick the same thing more than once, to give it more items to show, I'm choosing the Deer Hunters album Life and Death. So it's in the title of the actual album, Act 3, Life and Death. Came out in 2009. And then, of course, the final track there on side D says Life and Death also. So there you go. Life and Death from the Deer Hunter, D-E-A-R, is my pick for a song with the word life. So, oh, I forgot to show the S, because he wanted the S. I do have an S I can show, so I'm showing this slightly out of order. So my odds are kind of going down for the winning the contest, but so be it. It's very thin. But this was among my favorite artists with what I consider perfect records. The one that fits the S, I think, was my first choice, I guess. It's from 2015, the album Face Yourself and Remove Your Sandals. The artist is the band called Small Leaks Sink Ships. If you can read that. They're from Portland, Oregon. They're originally from Arizona, but this is the last perfect record that I've, you know, out of any new album that's come out in 2015. This is the last one. I still consider this a masterpiece, even though it's highly unknown, and even among their catalog, some people like the record that came out after it more, but it's progressive rock of a kind, like a lot of the stuff I like, although it's post-mathy rock, kind of experimental, college, indie, alternative rock. It's just, the song Iceberg is very proggy, but then there's just some other really catchy pieces. Midnight Gin has this build-up that's great. Yellowbird is like a poppy piece. The Mind is its own place. I don't know, I love the ending of that, the crescendo on that one too. And I just think that there's such emotion on this. Two of the members were dealing with illnesses, or illnesses / car accident, I think it was. And I also I always get an image of some of this. They're talking about a hospital on Midnight Gin, of the second Halloween movie, Halloween 2, when she's in the hospital. I always think of that movie when I hear this album and that particular song. But anyway, there's even a track called We All Die. I mean, think about it, that's two members ended up... I don't think of Iceberg. Building Blocks is the one that's really proggy. Anyway, because it's an instrumental, and it builds in different textures, and it changes times and everything. So, Small Leaks Sink Ships, the S included, from the album's called Face Yourself and Remove Your Sandals from 2015. So, alright. So I got one more item to show, and that's the sort of unique item. And, you know, I don't have the biggest collection ever, but I have a reasonable sized collection of vinyl and other vinyl. I think it's vinyl. I've been collecting vinyl now for, you know, basically met my wife 10 years ago, about more or less 10 years. A little bit before that, but, you know, more in the last, I'd probably say 6 or 7 years especially. Trying to track down. But one of the most, if not kind of unusual or rare / different kinds of items that I ever got with a record was the band Caddisfly. Meant a huge amount. Speaking of 2015, this record did get my album of the year, of course, Face Yourself and Remove Your Sandals from Small Leaks Sink Ships. But this band's also from Portland, Oregon. Caddisfly, their comeback record after 8 years, Horses Galloping on Sailboats. So, it's their only record on vinyl. It's a nice record on vinyl. Pretty cool thing. I mean, I did not pick it just because it came out on vinyl. It was like I said, it is the only Caddisfly record on vinyl. And it came with it was a weird pressing. It came with a 10-inch, a 10-inch and a 12-inch. This white clear, 10-inch. It was, the band had, long story short, their previous record, Set Sail the Prairie, got them their name out there, and they were looking to get signed by a label, but they didn't get signed. And really, because of that album's sort of success, but not enough success, it kind of ended the momentum when that album didn't quite, they didn't get that label deal and everything, so they went on a hiatus, basically, but they had always intended to release a follow-up as a trilogy to this album, the previous album from that. This was the third of the 3 albums about the past, the present, and the future in the human race, basically on planet Earth. And I can't even get the record out. But anyway, I'm going to get to the biggest reason why this is unique. Again, very cool to see them put on a record. It's cool looking splatter, yes. The record itself is really good. I don't like it quite as much as Set Sail the Prairie. I never get attached to it, but oh, it was such a huge deal for this to come out. So sentimentally, emotionally, I don't know if there was another record that came out I was more excited for, maybe ever, at least in the last decade and a half. Just because I loved Set Sail the Prairie so much, I thought, oh, I'm trying to get another record from them. But this is the kicker right here. Only a limited number of these records that they released you could buy, spend a little extra money. Jeez, I'm not getting a sliver. Came with this extra piece. It was a clock. It has a lyrics that says "You are the end" with this date, and I still don't even remember what this refers to. It's like a date. It's ellipses. You are the end. But if you open it, it's a clock, or it was a clock. It's a mirror and a clock. The clock doesn't, unfortunately, it's still working. No, it's not right. You have to put batteries in it. It has a mirror and a clock. Now, I mean, in all practical sense, does it really, this was handcrafted, but in a practical sense, I'm not going to use it for much. But in terms of rarity, uniqueness, unusualness, tell me another band that's put out something that had something like this as a companion piece. It hasn't happened that many times, so that's why I would say you want something unique. This is very rare and one of a kind. I don't know if any band that ever... Bands have put out other things, but just this specific thing. So, with their album, Horses Galloping on Sailboats in 2015, Cat is Fly, the long-awaited, for some of the real hardcore, passionate fans that really wanted this thing and wanted it on vinyl, they sold a limited number of these with this piece that says "You Are the End," which is a lyric, inside with the mirror and the clock. So, anyway, congratulations to AGK, AGK's Vinyl Life, and in the contest to get 1,000 subscribers. I mean, I don't know if I'll end up doing anything like that at some point because I'm not, finding the subscriber numbers at this point. Maybe that will change. I don't know, I might. I know you thought that out really well in terms of the way you wanted to run it. I mean, it's very original and unique, and I wish more of the contests did it like that, and I probably would do more of them. I also don't do them just because of time, and I just don't have the time yet to organize this room. We haven't had the time. Maybe someday. It's just life happens, you got a lot of crap, and it takes many man-hours, many days, weeks, months to organize it in. So, because just accessing music like on a dime doesn't easily happen for me. So, but anyway, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and again, congratulations to AGK's Vinyl Life. If you never checked out his channel, it's a cool channel. He does a lot of stuff, not only on prog rock, but on other kinds of music. I think, and I don't know if he's got like Funkos in the background and DVDs and Blu-rays, but yeah, I know I kind of got wind of him through Neve, the prog nerd, and some other people, and he reached out, made a comment to me and everything. It was really nice, so I really like his channel. So, but well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.